All right, so we're diving deep today into, well, let's be honest, a Premier League showdown that's got everyone talking. Manchester United versus Newcastle. And yeah, it's easy to say it's a big game, but this feels different. It's like two teams, two narratives at a real turning point.
Totally. It's a real clash of, well, I guess you could say expectations.
Yeah,
All right.
exactly. I mean, you've got Man U, a team that's historically, well, a powerhouse, right? But they're stumbling through what some are calling their worst start in, well, almost a century. It's crazy.
Right.
And then you've got Newcastle, a team that honestly, not that long ago, we were talking about relegation battles, and now, well, they're soaring.
Yeah, fifth in the league. Can you believe it?
It's almost like watching two different leagues, not two teams about to face off. So let's get into it. Man U, what's going on? The stats, they don't lie. 5 losses in their last 7 games. That's rough.
Yeah, since Amorim took over, it's been, well, a bit of a struggle.
So let's break it down. What's the root of the problem?
Well, you got to start with the defense. It's just leaky. Goals are coming from everywhere, but there's one area that's particularly concerning.
Yeah, I'm listening.
Set pieces. They're conceding the highest percentage of set piece goals in the entire Premier League. I mean, that's a big red flag.
Well, okay. Yeah, I see what you mean. So it's not just about individual errors. It's a systemic issue.
Yeah.
And that's got to be worrying for Man U fans.
Yeah,
Especially going up against a team like Newcastle who, let's face it, they know how to find the back of the net.
exactly. 14 goals in their last 4 games. That's an average of over 3 goals a game.
Unbelievable. It's almost like they're playing a different sport.
Yeah.
So what's the secret to Newcastle's offensive explosion? It can't just be luck, right?
No, definitely not luck. You got to give credit to Eddie Howe, their manager. He's got them playing with a confidence, a swagger that we haven't seen in, well, maybe ever. But it's not just about attitude. They're playing smart, tactical football.
It's funny. You mentioned how. And I think that's one of the most interesting contrasts in this match. You've got Amorim, new to Man U, trying to find his footing, right?
Hmm.
And then you got Howe, who's taken Newcastle, well, frankly, transformed them.
Yeah, it's like 2 managers on completely different trajectories.
All right, so let's talk players. Man U, they're already facing an uphill battle, right? And then, boom, they lose Bruno Fernandes. What does that mean for them?
Well, he got a red card in the last match against Wolves, so automatically he's suspended. And look, Fernandez, he's their creative engine, the guy who makes things happen.
The conductor.
Yeah, exactly. He sets up scoring opportunities, he dictates the pace, he's a leader. Losing him, it's a massive blow.
So the question is, who steps up? Rashford? He's the obvious choice
Yeah.
there. But there's been this weird situation. He's been absent from the squad recently.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mystery, no clear explanation, and that just adds another layer of uncertainty to an attack that's, well, already struggling.
And then, on the flip side, you've got Newcastle's danger man, Alexander Isak. I mean, the guy is a goal-scoring machine. What makes him so dangerous?
Movement. Pure and simple. He's like a ghost, always finding space between defenders. And once he's in the box, forget about it. He's clinical.
Yeah, he seems to score from anywhere.
Man U, they've got to figure out how to contain him, and with their defensive woes, well, that's not going to be easy.
All right, let's get tactical. Formation-wise, we've got Man U sticking with their 3-4-3, and Newcastle, well, they're a bit more flexible.
Yeah, it's a good point, and that clash of styles, it could be decisive.
So talk to me about the formations. What are the strengths and weaknesses of each approach?
Okay, so Man U, their 3-4-3, it relies heavily on those wingbacks. They provide the width, the attacking punch, and the 3 center backs, in theory, they provide solidity at the back. But, and this is a big but, if those wingbacks get caught too high up the pitch, well, it leaves the defense vulnerable. And Newcastle, they love to exploit space.
And that's where Newcastle's flexibility comes in, right?
Exactly. They can shift formations seamlessly. They've been known to use a 4-3-3, a 4-2-3-1, whatever suits the moment.
So they adapt to their opponent and to the flow of the game.
Yeah.
It's like a tactical chameleon.
Yeah, pretty much. And that unpredictability, it can really throw a team off their game.
All right, so predictions. It's the moment of truth. Man U, they're the underdogs, no doubt.
Yeah.
But can they pull off an upset?
Look, anything's possible in football, right? But they're going to need a near-perfect performance. Someone's got to step up and fill that Fernandez void. They've got to tighten up defensively. And maybe, just maybe, find a weakness in Newcastle's armor.
What about Newcastle? What happens if they keep this winning streak alive?
A win here, it solidifies their position as a top 4 contender, no doubt. But it's more than that. It's a statement. It says, hey, we're not just a flash in the pan. We're here to stay.
It's amazing to think about Newcastle's journey. Last season, fighting relegation. This season, well, They're a force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, it's been a remarkable turnaround.
It makes me wonder, is this a sign of a bigger shift in the Premier League? Are we witnessing the rise of new powers and maybe the decline of some old ones?
It's a question that's on everyone's mind, right? And this match, Man U versus Newcastle, it could be a real indicator of what's to come. Is this a temporary blip, or are we seeing a fundamental shift in the balance of power? It's going to be fascinating to watch it all unfold.
Exactly. This is about more than just 3 points. This is about the future of the Premier League. So folks, buckle up because this match, it's got all the makings of a classic.
Couldn't agree more. It's going to be an absolute cracker.